The biggest lie keeping you stuck in woodworking is the idea that you need experience before you start. It sounds logical, but it's not. Experience doesn't come before action. It comes after the first crooked cut, the first wrong measurement, and the first project that doesn't turn out perfect. The people who wait to feel confident before they act end up watching videos for months, saving ideas, maybe even buying tools, and still never building anything. Woodworking isn't something you master in theory, it's a hands-on skill. It's like learning to ride a bike. You can watch 100 tutorials about balance, but you only really learn when you get on the bike and start pedaling, even if you're afraid of falling. The difference between someone who becomes a woodworker and someone who just likes the idea of it is simple. One of them starts before they feel ready. A lot of beginners get stuck because they think they need a perfect workshop, a big bench, expensive tools, a fully organized garage, great lighting. That picture looks good on Instagram, but it's not required to begin. Most skilled woodworkers started in a basic garage with simple tools in limited space. What they had wasn't a dream setup. What they had was commitment. Another common mistake is thinking you need to know everything before building your first project. Types of wood, advanced joinery, complex techniques. That's like trying to memorize the entire driver's manual before you ever get behind the wheel. You only need the basics to start. You learn the rest by doing. The first real step is adjusting your mindset. Accept that your first projects won't be perfect, and that's a good thing. Perfection creates pressure. Progress creates growth. If you build something today and it's 70% good, you're already ahead of the person who's still researching. 30 days of weekend practice will move you further than a year of just watching content. Now let's talk about tools, because this is another excuse that keeps people stuck. You don't need to spend thousands of dollars. To get started, you need a tape measure, a drill, a circular saw, or even a basic hand saw, a few clamps, and sandpaper. That's enough to learn how to measure accurately, cut straight, and assemble properly. The goal isn't to own everything. The goal is to use what you have well. Think of it like cooking. A professional chef may have a high-end kitchen, but someone with a simple pan and a sharp knife can still make a great meal. The equipment helps, but skill and repetition matter more. Next comes choosing your first project. This is where many beginners sabotage themselves. They jump straight into building something complicated, like a large dining table with advanced joinery. The result is frustration. Instead, start small, a simple wall shelf, a basic stool, a small side table. These projects teach what really matters: accurate measuring, straight cuts, and solid assembly. Simple projects create quick wins. Quick wins build confidence. Confidence builds consistency. Inconsistency builds skill. That progression is powerful. There's one thing that can dramatically reduce frustration in the beginning: using clear, step-by-step plans. When you try to build something just by looking at a picture, you enter guesswork mode. That leads to wasted lumber, wasted time, and unnecessary stress. But when you follow a structured plan with exact measurements, material lists, and clear diagrams, you remove uncertainty. You focus on execution instead of guessing. It's like assembling furniture with instructions versus trying to figure it out on your own. With instructions, you move forward with clarity. Without them, you take it apart 3 times before getting it right. If you want to skip a lot of that early frustration, take a look at the resource I left in the description. It includes thousands of organized woodworking plans, from beginner to advanced, laid out step by step. It can save you months of trial and error and help you build with confidence from day one. It's not mandatory, but having structure in the beginning makes a huge difference. Let's talk about workspace. You don't need a massive shop. A sturdy work surface, good lighting, and a safe cutting area are enough. Safety comes before speed. Wear safety glasses. Double-check measurements. Don't rush cuts. Most mistakes happen when people try to move too fast. There are 3 beginner mistakes you should avoid. First, measuring only once. Measure twice, cut once. It's repeated for a reason. Second, cutting before reviewing your plan. Even small details matter. Third, jumping too quickly into advanced builds. Growth happens step by step. Think about someone starting at the gym. On day one, they don't try to lift their maximum weight. They learn proper form, build strength gradually, and increase over time. Woodworking works the same way. Every project is training. Every cut is a repetition. Over time, your hands become steadier, your eye becomes sharper, and your confidence grows. Consistency is the secret most people overlook. If you work during the week, block out 2 to 4 hours on Saturday or Sunday. You don't need an entire day, just a consistent time slot. In a month, you'll complete a project. In 3 months, you'll have several, and when you look back, you'll be surprised at how far you've come. Consistency beats intensity. Doing a little every weekend is better than going all in once and then quitting for 2 months. Skill grows with repetition, and repetition requires routine. There's also something deeper that happens when you build with your hands. When you finish your first project, you don't just see wood, you see proof. Proof that you can learn, proof that you can create, proof that you can improve. That shifts how you see yourself. Identity drives behavior. When you start seeing yourself as someone who builds, your decisions change. You stop saying, "I wish I could do that," and start saying, "I'm learning how to do that." That shift matters more than you think. If your goal is to eventually make money with woodworking, that door is open too. Simple items like small tables, shelves, or benches can sell well in local markets. Many people prefer handmade furniture over mass-produced pieces, but that opportunity only becomes real after you develop skill. First, build competence, then consider scaling. You might still be thinking you're not talented, but talent is overrated. Skill comes from guided practice. With clear plans, basic tools, and consistent effort, anyone can improve. The difference isn't natural ability, it's the decision to start. Waiting for motivation is another trap. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. When you make that first cut, even if it's not perfect, something shifts. When you complete your first project, even if it's simple, something clicks. It's like lighting a small fire. If you feed it, it grows. Most people never discover what they're capable of because they never truly begin. They research, they compare, they plan, but they don't build. If you want different results, you need different behavior. Choose a simple project, gather basic tools, follow a clear plan, block time this weekend, make the first cut. Don't aim for perfect, aim for progress. A year from now, you could look back at a collection of finished projects, real skill development, maybe even extra income, or you could still be thinking about starting. The decision always comes before the experience, and experience is built through action. It starts with one cut, and that cut doesn't require you to be an expert. It only requires you to stop waiting and begin.